How do you sell your books?
I used to have them on Walmart.com, but they banned me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Walmart sells dildos and guns, right? But my books got banned. I'm the reason why that doesn't happen anymore.
Welcome to
Wheel
Stutter, and Blindly is not here, but in his place is Brad Gosse.
Whoop,
And
whoop.
of course, DK is here. How's it going, DK?
What's up?
All right, we have Brad Gosse, fellow
Ready to
comedian,
fuck.
here to fuck shit up as he normally
Let's
does.
go. Let's join the club. Let's go.
He's a comedian
An author.
and an author and an online influencer. Should we use the
Can I
word
say online
influencer?
He's an online shit disturber.
Got it.
Online shit disturber. That's good.
We
That's
got
it.
it.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go. It's taking a while, but it will come.
I love it. I knew exactly where you were going, and I needed to wait for it.
Amazing. So, Brad, every episode, we play a game, Canada's favorite game,
Oh, did you see that?
Okay?
and the object of the game is all three of us are going to close our eyes, and we're going to guess what's on the screen by the sounds that
I love
we
it.
hear.
I love it.
Make sure that you comment down below what you thought was on the screen.
All right, close your eyes, guys.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's do this.
Please don't knock those together.
Holy shit!
Bobby, stop! Bobby, stop!
Okay, take it off the screen so we can open our eyes.
I'm blown.
And I think I know what it is too, but we'll let Brad go first because I think Jared, you and I are on the same.
I have no frame of reference other than I heard Metallica and slapping, so I'm guessing it's backyard wrestling, but I have no idea what
It's
I
in a
just heard.
backyard.
Yeah, you got that much.
I got the backyard right. There's no
And
fight. There's no slapping.
And you kind of got wrestling right.
Yeah?
Is it backyard jujitsu? What are we doing here?
Jared, go for it because I know you and I are on the same
Can I
plane.
say it? What I
Yeah.
think it is?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can open your eyes. You can open your
If
eyes.
it comes, it's a Down syndrome gentleman in a vest pretending to be Stone Cold Steve Austin, knocking two bottles of beer, not cans,
Yeah.
and yeah,
In a swimming pool.
in a swimming pool. To be honest, I don't blame. Why couldn't they give him cans?
Yeah.
Are you dumb? How are you laughing at me?
Oh,
Tell him not to knock them together. He's gonna knock them together. Tell someone not to do something. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
what is wrong with you?
He knew exactly what they were doing. I blame the adults.
He had the best.
He had the best,
Oh my God.
so he knew what he was gonna do. It.
Yeah, just buy cans.
Yesterday was Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. 3/16.
Oh,
Oh, look at that.
look at you.
I'm a wrestling fan. You
And
can't
today's
tell,
St.
but look at my
Patrick's Day.
face. I'm a wrestling fan.
I knew Jared was going to get that one immediately.
I'm a
because
huge
I reference
wrestling
that to
fan.
him all the time. He did not like it.
And that's the bottom line, because Jared Nathan said so. Let's go.
All right, so should we get right into it, Brad?
Of course.
What's up with the death threats?
I am often misunderstood for my art, and I love it. It's part of what makes me me. About 10% of the people who see my children's books for adults think that I'm a pedophile who's targeting children and trying to convince them to become swingers.
Okay.
And to clarify, you write R-rated books that are designed like children's books.
Makes sense.
It's like a
Just like
parody.
South Park is a cartoon that could look
Right.
like it's for children, but it's really for adults. It's
Right.
kind of the same in the same genre of extreme, obviously not for kids. And the thing I say to people all the time is, if you're dumb enough to think this is for kids, you probably shouldn't be around kids.
Yeah. No doubt.
Like, if that's what you think, if you
And-
think this is children's material,
And it's a parody, right?
it's some of it's parody.
It's
Like,
meant to be satire.
yeah,
and
it's
parody.
it's meant to
meant to be like. Well, yeah, it's meant to be comical. Like,
Some of them are
on
designed-
TV or like.
Yeah, some of them are designed to
It's
be like
for-
for adults and for children at the same time. So a lot of my books, if you read them to a child, they would never pick up on what's being said. But then a lot of them are just straight up in your face. You know, your parents are having a triad. Or
It's
whatever.
like SpongeBob. It's like SpongeBob or South Park or
Yeah.
or
Even Disney.
Shrek. Like
Yeah.
I watched Shrek a couple weeks ago, and there's tons of like adult jokes in
Subliminal
there.
stuff.
Yeah, they're legends.
subliminal.
It's highly erotic.
Yeah, so parents are going to the theater and also enjoying themselves,
Right.
not sitting in front of like, oh, we
Right.
going, now we got, you know,
Yeah,
like,
that would be
Yeah.
horrible.
yeah, it's torture.
So like you're known for, you know, a dark humor.
Yep.
Do you think that like, okay, so I'm relatively new to comedy, right? I've been in it like 2 years. And a lot of my material is dark. I just think that it's funny. But do you think that's something that a comic needs to earn?
No, I think everybody comes by their dark humor honestly, and whether it comes from your life experience or some other thing you've been through that requires that as your coping mechanism, nobody needs to earn dark humor. I think you need to earn what you need to be careful with it, because if you're new, you might think something's funny that is truly offensive, and so you got to be careful, that
There's a line.
yeah,
Walk.
but so I don't know if it's earned as much as it is like you could do it for the very first time and be awesome at it if you know what you're doing and you think you can walk that line, but I've definitely screwed it up a few times.
Yeah. With me also, I find the darkest thing I say, I gotta say it while I'm smiling, or like while I'm laughing, or I gotta show them that there's some humor in it. I think humor is like tragedy plus time. Like there's so much humor in sad stuff and anger stuff. Like that's why sometimes yeah.
Right.
Like,
There was a time you couldn't make Hitler jokes. People would be like, too soon,
Yeah.
you know?
and then people get high now on his birthday every year, you know?
Yeah.
What if everything you're told was only half the story?
What?
Introducing Plunder World conspiracy trading cards! The most underground trading cards on the planet!
We're talking secret societies, government experiments, hidden history, and conspiracies you definitely weren't supposed to learn about in school.
And the coolest part, these cards are created by one guy, no AI. Use our link, plunderworld.com/WSB.
You'll get 3 extra foil packs with your order.
Plunder World, truth within the cards.
Well, there's
Well,
like
then you have somebody like Mel Brooks who writes the producers too, right? Like
Almost all his comedies are World War II related,
Right.
Nazi related.
that's
He
his-
loves
that's
he
his
loves
deal.
putting Hitler in his movies.
there's also a big difference between like offensive and punching down,
Right.
right? Or you know what? I got a good piece of advice from a comic friend of mine who's 10-year vet, and he always comes to me and he's like, a lot of the stuff you say is great, but he's like, some of your jokes I don't think you're ready to tell yet. And that's to be said of like, if you're saying some extreme like premise, right? But I'm also only a few years in now too, right? So it's like how you're approaching these subjects. It's like talking about pedophilia from like a 2-year comic versus Louis C.K. talking about pedophilia. It's night and day,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you said that there's a line. Well, what is that line? Like, is the line not subjective depending on the individual?
No, I think obviously there's a line where, and maybe it's not when we're talking dark humor as much as we're talking like, to DK's point, punching down, or the idea of picking on a group. that doesn't need to be picked on, like, you know, the homeless or something like that. But you can still make jokes that
Right.
that involve homeless. It's just, you know, you have to be careful that you're not putting them in a bad place in your joke, because then everyone's just going to think you're an asshole.
Right.
Put yourself at the punchline instead of them. Like,
Yeah.
make
Yeah,
yourself
or,
the
like, if
punchline
you're-
to end.
I always say, like,
Like,
if
have
you're
something
coming
go back
from-
to yourself rather than the group you're joking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Make it self-deprecating if you're
Right.
worried about
And
them.
also
Right.
be funny, not offensive.
I think it helps too. Like, you know, me personally, I've been homeless. So for me to make a joke about being homeless, I can speak to it from a place where others can't. Like, I've begged in the street. I know what that feels like. So I can speak to it, and without even telling the audience that that's the case, without giving them that fact, I have a knowledge of it that most people don't have.
Can we go into that a little more? Like,
Sure.
When was that?
When I was 17, I was kicked out of my parents' home, and I lived in a storm drain for several months.
Here in the city?
In Brampton, and then here I stayed here in a little while. I slept at Trinity Bellwoods for a while, and then I was lucky enough to have a friend let me sleep on his couch for a while till I could get a job. But you know, for 6 months I was on the streets, and so I know what that feels like. I know, you know, what that entails.
So you come from empathy. So
No,
no, but like, that's how like that's what it is. Like,
it's not
you
even.
know how it is. So it's empathy.
Yeah, but
It's
then it gives you, like-
understanding or
But it also gives you a
Understanding,
bit of free reign to have a bit of fun with it. And if someone attacks you for it, you can at least say, well,
Have you?
yeah, like, you know, without even telling the audience up front that that's my fact, I can
Right.
just keep that in my back pocket for when somebody says you're not allowed.
See, I've found on the street, you know, certain things happen to me. Like my abdominal muscles are, like, I'm paralyzed from about nipple line down. So I have no abdominal muscles. That's why I've got this beautiful barrel. But sometimes if I hit a bump and I fall forward, I have no means of getting myself back up in the chair. The very first people on the street to help me are people that look like they call the street their home.
Yep.
The first.
Yep.
Because in my opinion, they know what it's like to be fucked
Yep.
and nobody help you.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah.
They're on me. I'll have people walk past me. I've had people laugh and say, no, I'm not helping you.
Yep.
And walk past me. But someone, you know, that lives on the street just wham. Right there, man. You know, how are you? Are you okay? Is there anything else I can do? Are you going anywhere? I can walk with you. It's like, you
Homeless
know?
people are the nicest
Yep.
people when you need drugs.
Yeah, and they're always happy when you give them drugs.
Right.
For
Maybe even happier.
a while, I used to always give homeless people marijuana
Yeah.
because I couldn't say weed in a moment. Now I can.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, they're always happy to. They're always happier when you give them to them.
I actually used to never give change to homeless people.
Just weed.
It was just out of like some weird. I will now if I have change, like and it's convenient for me to, like, I don't know, stop.
Nobody
it.
wants change. You might as well get rid of it.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
And then, but I remember what got me to start doing it. I was coming off of the Allen North at Eglinton one time, and there was this couple. It was hot as fuck out, and I give out cigarettes, right? So I hung out a couple cigarettes out the window, and their fucking faces lit up. It was this young couple, and the guy had a shitty cast on, like the plaster ones that you just get for free. He come hobbling over. They were so excited, and they lit up like it made their day. And I was just like, huh, like that was so small. And I'm sitting in my AC fucking car, and you know, just to see how
grateful for the
crazy
small things.
appreciative they were of a couple cigarettes. I was like, oh fuck, like,
Yeah.
you know, little things go a long way, man.
Yeah, they'd rather have the cigarette than the 50 cents that
Exactly.
the cigarette costs.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like somehow it's like a gift because now they don't have to go buy a pack.
Yeah.
Right? So they can go buy something to eat, and now they also have cigarettes.
That was my thinking,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I was once at 7-Eleven, and this guy had a sign hungry, looking for food. So I decided instead of giving money, I'll go in and get him a turkey sandwich. Yeah.
Did he tell you to fuck off?
He threw the turkey sandwich in my
I'm
face.
a
telling me to
vegetarian,
fuck
bitch.
off. He's like, I don't want no turkey sandwich. I'm like, fuck, okay. So, yeah.
I'm gluten intolerant.
Bacon. Yeah.
So you came through Second City, right?
I did Second City stand-up training, yeah. I'm not like alumni where I did the full college thing or whatever. I just did the stand-up course there. That's how I learned. I was doing like business talks. I had a best-selling book in 2012. It was a business book, and I wanted to get better at being funny on stage. So I took the stand-up class in 2012, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Like I did that. I did 5 minutes at Absolute, and I was just like, this is it for me. I can't imagine another path.
Yeah, there's that feeling, eh? When you can make a room full of people laugh and like you
It's
just
the
get
best.
hit with that wave of
It's crack.
really cool. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
when
crack.
you have
really
that first
cool energy.
Yeah.
Oh.
you're
Yeah.
hooked.
It's a
You're
drug.
addicted.
You
It's
chase
a
the dragon
drug.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did acting in high school, and I did like a 45-minute play that we toured all over Ontario, but it was like comedy, tragedy, dark humor. And, you know, when you have a theater full of like 2,000 people laughing, it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
you can't, there's
Yeah.
no drug, there's
You're
no
shaking.
booze.
Afterwards,
Yeah.
you're
Nothing.
shaking.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you go off stage shaking with
Yeah.
like
Awake for
Sometimes
2 days.
adrenaline.
Watching your
Sometimes it's
set
like
on
Can't sleep.
repeat.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Sometimes-
eat. You just want to just.
When
Yeah.
you get
Vibrate,
into
you're
when you-
vibrating.
when you get into like that God mode deal and you don't even like you can't remember what happened. Do you know what I mean?
Can't
Yeah.
remember
You
what you
just-
said or how
right.
you said it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you're just flowing. It's like
Yeah.
holy fuck. There's just
Have you ever filmed yourself and been in that zone, right? And then go back and watch the tape, and you're like, it didn't go as well as my brain told
Oh
me.
yeah.
Have you ever
Oh
done
yeah,
that?
definitely.
yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why I hate going back
Yeah.
watching myself.
Or audio.
Yeah.
I come with some audio. There's always one section of it that's like, oh, that I cringe. Or I can't believe I said that.
Yeah.
That's not as good. Don't do that again.
Or
I
then
used to film everything, and then I'm like, I got to stop filming this because it's like my ego's telling me it went better than it did, and I like the delusion.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, did your stand-up journey come before your author journey?
Yeah, I did. Well, I wrote my first book in 2012, but it wasn't one of the. It was.
Yeah, you
it was
said
a.
it was a business book. Business.
It was a business book for people who were potheads. It was called The Chronic Marketer.
Nice.
So it had a lot of humor in it. And it was, this was early days of like Facebook ads and stuff. And I was able to find this really cool group of people who they followed like Forbes or Entrepreneur Magazine, but also followed, High Times and Chills Bongs or whatever. Right. So I made this like audience mix of pothead entrepreneurs. And then I made this, did this cool, get this little guidebook for the pothead entrepreneur or whatever. And I got like tens and tens of thousands of people to join my mailing list. And then when I was ready to launch my book, I started emailing them and I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this book. Love for you to buy it. This is the date it's coming out. And it was self-published because nobody would publish it. So I
Yeah.
self-published it, made the Amazon bestseller list day one, and sold a ton of copies. And it sort of changed the trajectory of my life because that's when I started doing stand-up training and then realizing that I really like making people laugh more than I like making money.
Was that book targeted at potheads specifically in marketing, or just business general, or
Mostly marketing. Like it was basically an online marketing
Any
guide for the
industry?
pothead.
Did any cannabis industry?
No,
take
this was
anything,
this
or-
was before cannabis industry. This was
Okay.
before legal weed. This was 2012. So it was
The friendly stranger, and that's it.
there
Yeah.
was no there was no
All
legal
box.
anything. So there was no business. It was just. But I was speaking to an audience that I knew existed because I had been going to all of these conferences and meeting all these cool people who would go and smoke weed in
Yeah.
a hotel room
Yeah.
that were also really successful, but nobody knew about what was going on in the hotel room. And I'm like, nobody's talking about this. And so I picked up this huge audience of people that were like,
Brilliant.
I'm on board. Like, I love it.
That was brilliant. So you came out to our, was it February open mic?
February
Yeah, we're in March.
15th.
Yeah, you came out to our February ICU open mic.
And you told a story.
That's at Sweet Action Theater. Next one's on April 26th. Make sure you guys get your tickets and come.
Let's go.
Brad came as our surprise comic drop-in for the February, and
It was very explosive and
yeah, it was true to style.
thought-provoking and
I actually,
self-experiences. Talk about your experiences.
I actually thought it was quite tame.
Okay, yeah, I do too.
Right? I thought it was very
It
tame. I
wasn't-
thought it was.
Just so you guys know, this is a bit that I have only just started to cook. Like
Well, we're at an open mic.
I've only
that's where
done
you're
it,
supposed to be.
maybe a half dozen times, and I'm still working out all the pieces.
Bit or is it a story
It's a story.
that turned into the?
That's
the
a
bit?
bit.
It's a story that has a lot of funny parts.
Yeah.
So it's which is something I'm working on too, because I used to do a lot of one-liners. I used to read a lot of books from the stage, and I'm switching gears and I'm moving to more of a storytelling format because I'm finding that I'm enjoying it, and I've got a lot of I have a lot of interesting exchanges with people in my DMs, and they're fun to read.
Yeah.
And I started doing it at weed shows because you forget your jokes at the weed shows. You get out there and you're just like, oh, I'm so high, I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to read you these DMs because it's the only thing I can do. And then the audience was dying. And I'm like, oh, this is something.
This is the
Autism one's
thing.
hilarious.
Yeah, the autism one's good. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So,
okay. You want to tee it up?
wow, we got a little.
You had some complaints.
Well, it's a little controversy, I guess you can say.
We have complaints. Just a fellow comic.
One
took it
comic.
upon one comic
Out of a room of
out of
40
room out
people.
of maybe 40 people, to maybe like 10 comics.
Mm-hmm.
Took it upon himself to complain
Yeah.
and to say that it was inappropriate reactions.
Yeah. That
But
I was bullying.
That you bullying. That I think telling a story of what took place.
I think his issue was that you showed his picture to the crowd.
Yeah.
Is what it was. But
And his penis.
oh yeah. You showed his penis.
You hold nothing back.
Let's be,
I missed that part of the
You have
story,
nothing
but still
back.
doesn't change.
have
Still doesn't
nothing
change the
back.
facts.
DK, just so you know, he led with his penis. That was the
that's
first
right.
picture he sent me was his cock.
Yeah.
Right.
Before his face.
Then his face.
Oh,
So,
okay.
hang on. Let's
Okay.
back up here.
Because I was there.
2
I was there
seconds
that night. I used to- anyways.
to what the bit was. So the bit was that you were gifted through a sponsor
Give us sponsorship.
a sex doll,
Yeah.
but then they offered you an upgraded version, and you were like, well, now I have this old one that I need to get rid of. How the hell am I going to get rid of this used sex doll? Who's going to buy one? My favorite part.
Jared put his
was
hand up.
Jared was in the back of the crowd putting his hand up.
We all saw.
I wanted Blair to see
I called him out. I
Oh,
called him out.
God.
I
I
was
just
like,
wanted Blair to see it. I just did it for humor. I don't know.
Oh God, it was just
Comic timing.
it was classic timing.
it was too
I had to
much.
call it out. I was
I
like,
was
Jared.
prompted by the comedy god to do
Yeah.
it, you know?
You
You
got
just
to
thought you were
I
gonna get
just gotta
away
do
with
it.
it hidden in the
What?
dark. You thought you were gonna get
I-
away with it hidden in a dark corner. Every
I
one of
know,
us
only
dialed
Blair
in on
could see
it.
But I was like, comic timing.
So-
yeah.
So then you put it on Facebook Marketplace, and chaos ensued.
Yeah, I got a ton of DMs from a lot of weird people. And so this comic was mad because, according to him, I outed a bisexual man on stage.
Right, not a bisexual man that sent you unsolicited penis pictures.
We're not saying his name, I'm assuming. We're not naming
No,
names.
we're not
No,
naming
nah,
names.
nah.
Okay.
Please
So
not.
the,
Please
the
don't.
comic DM'd me directly and basically was appalled. But here's the thing, right? I want to make sure that you guys understand the context, because this comic has never messaged me on anything before. He messaged me about this, and if he had approached it a different way, he might have gotten a favorable response from me. But the way he approached it was so shitty. He was, he called me a bully. He was like, he called me out on this joke, and then I responded saying, "Are you kidding?" Because I actually thought he was running a bit on me. Like I thought he was I'm like, there's no way this guy's triggered by this. And I said to him, you know, if I was a girl and I received an unsolicited dick pic and I showed the DM on stage, nobody would say anything to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, he was focused on this outing of the bisexual man part. And I thought to myself, this guy's out. He's sending unsolicited dick pics to men on the internet. He's out. There's no outing this guy.
Right.
And
That's a weird part of everything that you did that night. That's the one thing I
That's
wanted to
what he
target in on. That's
lasered
so,
in
it's
on.
such a reach.
yeah.
That's such a reach.
You did not ask for the photo.
No.
It was unsolicited.
Unsolicited.
On the behalf of this.
And I
of the
sold it.
individual.
To keep in mind, the listing was lightly used companion doll. There was no sex doll in the listing.
Yeah.
There was no, you know what I mean?
Oh,
So
companion doll.
companion doll. Because, well, Facebook Marketplace isn't going to take a sex doll listing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let alone a used one.
Companion doll could be anything.
But here's the thing that you don't know. He also, we had a bit of an exchange, and I was probably, well, no, not probably. I was definitely really mean. I definitely bullied him in the exchange because I went and looked, and I was like, oh, this guy has 700 followers. You know, maybe he's more mad at, you know, his own place in comedy and less mad at my actual joke. And I may have said some mean things. And then I definitely said some mean things. And then he proceeded to tell me that my books are terrible and that I take one single pun and I milk it and I'm a sellout. And then I was like, okay, this isn't about last night.
No.
This is about how you see me.
Yep.
And I get this a lot because there's a lot of comics who they want to talk down to me and say, "Oh, you're a prop comic, or you're this, or you're that, or you write these short limericks and turn them into books and milk it and sell out and all these things." And it's like,
Yeah, but
okay, these books paid for my house.
Yeah, and it's like that's
So-
your thing too. It's like it's one thing to not have your own originality, but another thing to take a swing at somebody who has their own
you
niche. It's like
found
get fucked.
something that made you money,
Yeah.
and you ran.
Yeah.
Well, not
with
only
it.
that,
But good for you.
you
Yeah.
Good for
enjoy
you.
it.
Thank you. Yeah.
You enjoy it.
But
right?
it- but when
or
you
you
make
wouldn't
it-
do it. You're not doing it for money.
But when you,
Like, yes,
I'm
that's
doing
a-
it for money, 100%
Okay,
for
that-
money.
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what
but
I'm
you're
saying.
doing it to make a living.
Yeah.
That is a side benefit of it, is what I'm saying. But you're not going to do it just solely to make money, right? Or
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm in this business to make money. I mean, I like making people
I
laugh.
like the honesty. I like the honesty.
But I'm not here to save the whales. I'm here to
No, I
bank,
get that.
make bank.
I love
you know?
whales.
But I'm saying you obviously love to do it, or you wouldn't be doing it.
Of
is
course,
what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. I love it.
Yes.
You're right.
It's
but like-
your career.
Yeah, and it's
your
what I
income.
do. It's my signature thing. But when somebody attacks the books, I know I immediately put them in a box. So if he had just stayed on the "you're bullying a bisexual man" bit, he might have gotten somewhere. But then when he shifted gears and told me my books were trash, I was like, okay, now I can put you in a special bucket because anybody who attacks the thing that paid for my house, you can't. That's bulletproof to me.
Yeah.
Like you can't fuck with that. You know what I
It's
mean?
one thing to have the opinion
Yeah.
and then to now start taking a
Yeah.
personal attack.
Like
right?
I've sold millions of dollars worth of books. So if you want to come at me for that, you can't. There's no world where I'm going to feel
That's
any
jealousy.
Yeah, that is because
That's
I made
jealousy.
it. Yeah, I made it look easy, and you're looking at it going, "Oh, he picked low hanging fruit," which I'm totally doing. I'm happy to say that that's what I do, and it works. So I keep picking the fucking fruit. Why? Why wouldn't I keep picking the
That's
fruit?
like
If it's broke, if it's not broke, why fix it? Right?
you know, there's some like online personalities or whatever that, you know, they'll get a video and it goes viral of like 5 million views or whatever.
But-
the first thing they do is do it again.
Sure.
Yeah.
And they keep fucking doing
Milk it.
until it stops working, and
Yeah.
then they do something else.
It's the thing
you
I
know?
think that's crazy too when someone's going to hate on something like successful. It's like regardless of your reasonings for do it. You said it's for money, you enjoy it, you don't give a fuck, right? But then it's someone's going to get mad at that. Well, it wouldn't be successful if there wasn't a huge group of people who fucking enjoy it and keep
Exactly.
coming back.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Buy your shit.
Yeah, that's
you know?
comedy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, get
It doesn't
fucked.
matter if
have-
you're falling
yeah.
down and doing slapstick or whatever it is. We can all say that's not my thing. But if you have an audience and people are buying it, then fucking more power to
Do
you.
you have fans that keep buying your
Oh,
books?
yeah. Yeah.
Of course.
You have the
Rabid,
opposite.
I have rabid fans.
Yeah.
There's people probably DMing, when's your next book? Why are you
Yep.
taking so fucking long?
Yep. Yep. I get DMs every day. When's the next book? What time?
Yeah.
You know, when's the next multi-volume? When's the next? You know, what's
That's great.
Like, yeah.
Do the haters keep you motivated too?
Yes.
To
absolutely.
write your next book?
I learned early on that dividing the audience is the best possible move you can make. If you're willing to piss off a smaller group, and you look at like guys like Ben Bankus, who I've been on tour with. He's a brilliant comic. A lot of people
Shout
hate
out Ben Bankus.
A lot of people hate him. I think he's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
A lot of people hate on him, but he has figured out how to piss off one group of people and how to turn another group into rabid fans, and that's where the money lives. The money doesn't live in these people don't give a fuck about you and these people kind of like you. The money is in these people hate you and these people love you, and there's nobody in between.
I think comedy should provoke a response. I think comedy needs a response.
You know, it's a cool thing. Robert Cackham said to me. He's a good friend of mine. You guys know him. He said, because like I'm an edgelord kind of, if you want to say that much or whatever. But he said this thing. He's like, if half the audience isn't pissed off, you didn't.
You're not an edgelord if half of them are pissed off.
You didn't commit. You didn't commit.
Yeah, you got to be willing to hear the groans and not let it hurt you, but let it fuel you. If you can get fueled by a groaning audience, you're going to do well as an edgelord.
Oh, I love the groan.
It's me too.
Yeah, I love the holy. I love the oh shit or the Jesus. My favorite is the Jesus. When somebody says Jesus on your show,
or oh my God,
oh my
when
God,
someone's like, oh fuck, and they're like, here we go, or then my favorite.
It's like, I'm in,
Yeah, it's the orgasmic response.
I'm in.
My favorite is when it's like all the laughs are like muttered, but they're spread out through the whole room because it's a bunch of dudes looking over at their girlfriend.
It's okay.
I love that.
And then you think, and then I had a show recently, and I thought I was like, man, that didn't go too great. And then I'm sitting outside the room afterwards, and I must have had 24 people come up to me and be like, yo, that was fucking awesome. And I'm like, why weren't you laughing, man?
Yeah.
So, oh fuck.
That's like when someone DMs you to tell you they liked your post.
Yeah.
You're like, why didn't you like it publicly? I can't have my girl seeing me like it.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite book that you wrote?
Becky the Throat Goat is probably my favorite because it's just so fun to say.
Yeah.
And it's like it's one of those books that you could read it to a toddler and they wouldn't have a clue what it's about.
But adults would.
And adults think it's hilarious, and one of the reasons why I like it is because girls like it. A lot of my books, most of my books are bought by women, but a lot of them are like when I do these like Omegle bits or whatever, and I'm showing them to strangers, the Becky the Throat Goat gets picked a lot. So I know it's like, this is a cool sort of popular thing. And I almost named her Nancy. Do you know why?
Why?
No.
Nancy Reagan. Do you know who she is?
That came to my mind.
So Nancy, Nancy Reagan?
No.
She is the president's wife,
Ronald
Reagan.
Ronald Reagan?
But she was an actress in Hollywood, and she
blew her way to the top.
She blew her way to the top.
Did she sing a song? She sang a song, right?
What's that?
She was also a singer, no?
No.
That's something else. Something else.
Nancy
was just
Sinatra.
Say No
you
to
think.
Drugs.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
She started just Say No
Yeah,
to Drugs.
she wore the red dress,
Right,
and she was Say No to Drugs.
Right.
So they called her the Hollywood Throat Goat, and so I considered naming her Nancy, but Becky just has a, like, you guys know this better than anybody. When you're in comedy, it's like sometimes there's the words that just, like, Becky is just a funny word, you know?
Yeah, it's a trigger word,
Yeah.
right?
How it ends.
Becky sounds like a slut.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's what we're saying.
Exactly, yeah. Becky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my favorite because she's also become like, I spent like $2,000 to have a puppet made of her.
I've seen it.
I have like a Hollywood puppet of
Yes,
Becky,
dude.
and she goes on Omegle and fucks with people, and it's hilarious. And so I've kind of turned her into a bit of a franchise. I have 3 books. I have merch around Becky.
Yeah.
Like she's become a thing.
How do you sell your books on Amazon or?
Yeah, Amazon. I used to have them on Walmart.com, but they banned me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Can you tell that story? How did that happen?
So when you self-publish, you can choose to something called expanded distribution. You make almost no money on the expanded distribution. So it's like you self-publish on Amazon, they'll pay you a 60% royalty on the book, and then on the profit of the book. And then they'll say, if you check expanded distribution, so you might, let's say I make like $4 off of a copy of a book when I sell it on Amazon. If you buy it from Barnes & Noble or Walmart or one of the expanded distribution platforms, I might make 50 cents, 75 cents.
Okay.
But expanded distribution makes you look bigger, right? So I was like, okay, I want to be in Walmart. I want to be in these other stores.
Yeah.
So I chose that. And then for a while, I was actually like all my books were on Walmart.com. And I knew that someone at Walmart would eventually be like,
Someone fucked up.
you know, no, you know. And keep in mind, Walmart sells dildos and guns, right? But like,
Are you
America, baby.
Walmart.ca?
right?
In Canada or in the
In the
States?
U.S., right? Yeah.
US.
Well, but on Walmart.com, you go to Walmart.com and you search for sex toys, vibrators, whatever.
Yeah.
It's all there,
Yeah.
right? But my books got banned, and so you don't really like have early on when I was self-publishing. If you just checked expanded distribution, your books just wound up on Walmart.com. I'm the reason why that doesn't happen anymore. And so what I was
Someone
doing,
got in trouble for sure.
Dude.
Someone got fired.
yeah. And so what I was doing was just to poke the bear because I wanted to, like, I'm all about publicity and I'm a bit of a PR whore. So I knew that this was going to work if I did this. I started posting screenshots on X and on Instagram of my books on Walmart.com. And I would say in the screenshots, I'm really proud of my partnership with Walmart. And I would milk it, you know what I mean? I poked the bear.
Yeah.
And then eventually they took them down. Nobody told me they were taking them down. They just took them down. I didn't see a blip in the radar on sales. So I was just like, this is great, you know? And so I just did a whole campaign around my books are banned on Walmart. So what is going on here?
Sorry, man.
Oh, it's all good. It's just,
It's a paralyzed life thing.
okay.
Um,
Can you explain it to me?
yeah, I can.
Okay.
So when you sit, right,
Yeah.
you, without knowing it, you're moving your buttocks like that, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
So if I sit flat for too long, something called autonomic dysreflexia happens to me.
Okay.
And what it does is elevates my blood pressure really fast. I get flush. I start sweating.
So you can feel it. You know when this is happening.
Right.
Okay.
It's like a system that your body has for when you can't feel what's going on.
Right. It's another
So
warning system. Got it.
If I tilt like that, I'm relieving my pressure.
Okay.
So it's a thing.
I get it.
I thought it was because
And
you
then
were in
plus-
pain.
Well, it
Oh, it causes
the
pain. Okay.
And then plus, if I gotta piss, this is how I.
That's
feel.
what happens.
Okay.
I lean back for some reason. I can piss better because I got a like a retarded condom on my dick. It's got a.
It's really slow.
It's got. That was good, Chad.
Well played, buddy.
It's got the end cut off of it, and then a tube gets plugged in,
Yeah.
and then I got a bag on my leg, right? 'Cause
Okay.
Obviously, I can't stand up or whatever.
So it's easier to piss against gravity?
No, he's pissing with gravity
No.
because the bag's behind him.
So what it is?
I thought the bag's
no,
on
the
his
bag's
leg.
on my leg.
Oh, okay.
So the major issue is men were not designed to sit and pee.
I do it every night.
I only sit and pee.
Get out.
You
Yeah,
only
well-
sit and pee?
At my own home. When I'm out in public, obviously not. But at home,
First thing in
only
the
sit
morning?
down. Only sit.
Really?
Oh, it's the best. You stagger in, half asleep, sit down, and just fucking give her.
Dude, you don't empty your bladder the same way when you stand up. Try standing up to pee tomorrow morning. You're gonna feel a different
I'll stand
pee.
up sometimes. I've had like the rocket piss where you're standing there for a minute, just like, you know. But, yeah. I'm a sit down guy.
Okay.
Anyways,
Are you self-published now, or do you have publishers, or?
I am still
talk?
self-published. I have actually had several publishers reach out to me, and none of them can give me the deal that I make good money self-published. Most publishing companies want to cut my royalties in half.
Yeah, they want to take it.
One publishing company, hello, Maris. One publishing company came to me and they were like, we want to publish Mike Hunt, which was my #1 bestseller at the time. And they said, we're going to give you this much royalty, which was about half what I was making. They're like, but we're going to make it up in sales. And I said, okay. And then they said, but we're going to need you to take the book offline and not make it available for 18 months while we redo everything.
No, fuck that.
And I was like, how much of an advance are you planning to give me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
Because this book makes like tens of thousands of dollars a month in royalties. you want me to give up 6 figures? You're going to have to pay me way more of that in advance. Like,
Right.
what? And they're like, no, we're going to give you like a $40,000 advance. I'm like, that's not.
Yeah, there's no contingency there. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So every publishing deal that has come my way has been garbage. But if you don't have your own platform and you're not able to drive your own sales,
Right.
then they might be good deals. But I'm selling too many books on my own to cut a deal with a publisher and give them half the royalties and then give up sales for 18 months. It just doesn't make sense.
Social media is an advertising platform. Like
Yeah,
with
100%.
Legal and
Instagram, TikTok. I'm a Snap star on Snapchat. YouTube Shorts, all the things. And then I also buy a lot of ads now. So I didn't do that in the beginning, but over the last few years, because the books do so well and they have such high ratings, you can buy Amazon ads and sell a decent amount of books just promoting them through their ad platform when people are searching for humor books.
Have you ever thought about putting like sex shops, like adult stores or adult conventions, or?
I've thought about it, but it's it all comes down to like a juice versus squeeze situation. So I don't really want to be in the business of like trying to wholesale 10 books to a store. I'd rather be in the business of writing new books and publishing them online, promoting them. It's so easy. Like, it's so easy to tell people it's on Amazon. I don't have to send. I don't have to give you a link. I don't have to tell you link in bio. I don't have to say anything. I just have to say available on Amazon. Your credit card's already punched in there.
Yeah.
You already have a Prime account. You're getting it shipped for free. It's just the barrier of entry and the friction is so low.
You also spoke about the line before. Have you ever started writing something and thought, oh, that's too harsh or that's too...
Yeah, you want to hear the book titles that didn't make it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Give
does
her.
that?
Let's go, baby.
Okay. The first one is
Give us your top 3.
Yeah,
The Breathtaking Adventures of George Floyd.
Oh.
That one didn't fuck around at all.
Spit take.
That was like, wow, okay. I drew, sorry. Okay.
The Anne Frank Hide and Seek Club.
Oh.
Or
I like it.
the Anne Frank School of Tap Dancing.
Ah.
There's no innuendo there. That's just fuck you.
Went for it, man. What?
Oh, God, the George Floyd one's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That one might have gotten you in a bit of trouble. I
You
don't
think?
know.
You think?
Has Amazon ever flagged something?
Yep. I've had 2 books taken down. One was early on in my career. I wrote a book, and this was right before we went into lockdown. This was like December of 2019, right before lockdown. But it was called coronavirus back then, and it was big news. But it was only in China, and it was like we were worried that it was
So you
coming.
got it
here.
out before the actual pandemic hit North America?
Yeah, and it was called "You're Going to Camp Coronavirus Because You Didn't Wash Your Hands," and it was pretty brutal. And then what happened was, because coronavirus was in the news so much, I was like one of the top 3 products when you search coronavirus on Amazon.
Nice.
And so all of a sudden, this book was moving units like you wouldn't believe, and I'm like, this book is doing well. And like right before we went into lockdown, it was like, holy shit, this book is selling more copies than any other book I've ever written. And then what happened was, I don't know if you guys remember, but right as we went into lockdown, Amazon did this thing where they were like, we're preferring grocery orders over all other orders. And so they actually stopped taking book orders for a little while. And while that was going on, they also blacklisted every product that had coronavirus or COVID in the name. They
you
yanked
weren't
them
allowed to
all
use it,
from
yeah.
their website.
Do you think the sales, like the people buying it, do you think it's that spike in sales was they still knew it was like a joking book, or they actually, so it wasn't like some mistake where people were like, oh, maybe this is like a
guide to avoiding it?
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
it was pretty clear.
Okay,
It was
cool,
pretty
cool.
clear. And the ratings were showing that nobody was buying it saying, I thought this was going to help me prevent the
true, yeah,
COVID, you know?
ratings, yeah.
So it was doing well, and then they yanked it. And so what and again, I'm all about turning these little controversies into big events for myself, right?
Yeah.
Someone sends me hate mail, I'm going to amplify it. Somebody, anytime this bad stuff happens. So what I did was I went on this TikTok was my big platform at the time. Yeah. I put that book up as a PDF and I gave it away in exchange for an email address. And I said, Amazon banned this book, so I'm giving it to you for free.
Nice.
Go get it. Right. And like,
email
I built an email list
collection.
of like 40,000 people.
Nice.
That got that book for free, and now I still have that email list, and I can mail them every time a book comes out. You know, and so everything. So I built a mailing list off of a banned book.
That's solid.
That's awesome.
Beautiful.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Good claps.
That's
Edmund the Handy there, ladies and gentlemen.
That's amazing. Do you have a book that you don't like that you don't tell anymore?
Yeah, I got a bunch of them actually. You know, out of 180 books, I probably have about 20 or 30 that I don't know. It's like old jokes that make you cringe that you don't want to tell anymore. You know, and it's not that they're bad. It's just that I'm over them.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know,
it's not at your place anymore.
Yeah,
Not
so
the
You
same
gotta
thing.
retire. You retire everything
We'll have that as
eventually.
jokes
exactly.
too.
Yeah.
So, do you have any advice for authors like want to be authors, aspiring authors?
The only advice I can give is publish before you think you should. Like if I waited until I thought everything was perfect, I wouldn't have done my first 10 books, you know?
Nice. Yeah.
And so failing forward is a huge part of what I do. And I'm all about like, I'm willing to be cringe. I'm willing to have people judge me. I'm willing to get hate mail. I'm willing to do all those things. And because of that, I'm somewhat free from the shackles of like, oh, I'm worried about what people are going to say, or because I've learned that if the book sucks, nobody buys it. Yeah. And if it takes 3 sucky books to get you a bestseller, or in my case, my 121st book sold more copies than every book before it and every book after it, be willing to make those mistakes and put up work that may not be, especially in hindsight, if I look back at the catalog, I'm like, oh, I can't believe I published that, but it all got me here. So the fact that I was willing to screw up and be cringy and maybe make people say bad things about me or whatever got me to a place where this is my full-time job.
See,
so
I really look at it like when you're out there and you're producing and you're pushing things out, like, yeah, they might not be perfect, and it's not a failure, but you're just learning, okay, that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
I can...
The faster you fail,
it
the
was
faster you
great.
succeed.
It was a
100%.
good idea,
Yeah.
but I
Come
can
on, let
tweak
them help
it.
you keep going.
I can tweak it, and I can do this, and that'll make it better. And then even when you do that, you're like, oh, wait, I can make it even better than that.
Exactly,
and you just,
yeah.
it's growing, right? To grow, you got to stumble and fall back.
Growing pains, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're just a comedian and you're like, oh, I'm thinking about publishing a book, like, even if it's short, even if it's like a Kindle novella and it's like, 40 pages, but it's a short, funny story. If you're thinking about making a short film, it's going to cost you a fortune. You're thinking about writing a short story, it's going to cost you nothing. Mm-hmm. And even if it's just a story that was a bit that you did on stage, but you want to elaborate it into like a full book or multi-chapter, or you want to write your memoirs, but make them funny. There's like, it's never been easier to write a book. And it's never like I've written, like full length paperbacks as well as my short, dirty limerick books. But it's like, there's just, it's so easy. Like any one of you can have a book on Amazon in 3 days for free. It costs you nothing. And now that book is available in every country, and you can point people to the link and they can buy it. And if they buy it, Amazon prints it. If someone buys my book in Australia, the Amazon warehouse in Australia prints the book and ships it right from there. I don't have to pay for storage fees. I don't have to pay for it. Just it costs me nothing to have 180 books on Amazon.
Stupid not to do
So
it.
it's kind of like drop shipping.
Kind of, yeah.
In a way, drop shipping.
Yeah. Except you're taking advantage of Prime, right? So all these people have Prime accounts.
Yeah.
They're getting free delivery because you publish on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code, man. Like,
do you also publish it yourself, or do you just publish it on Amazon now?
Well, I self-published through Amazon's
Yeah.
self-publishing wing. It's called KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing. And so you just literally upload the PDF of your book to them and give them the product description, and they they review it and make sure everything looks good and fits and everything, and then they might say, oh, you got to fix these margins or whatever you got to do, and and then it's up.
Thought about putting an audio version on Spotify and do it that way? Have you thought about streaming platforms or?
I do
audio?
use streaming platforms for my music. So each one of my books has a theme song.
Yeah.
So I use them for that. But the voice, you can't publish voice on Spotify unless it's a podcast. And an audiobook needs to be longer than my normal books are.
Okay.
So I actually recorded, I have, what I do is every 14 books, I create a multi-volume 14 in one book.
Yeah.
So I have a bunch of those. I've read those and I actually have them recorded and ready to upload to Audible, but I just haven't done it.
I once had the pleasure of reading a book on stage.
Yep.
The Coke,
Frosty the Blowman.
Frosty the Blowman.
Yeah.
It was very musical.
Yeah.
Like
I wrote it to the song
rhymed.
jingle. Yeah. I wrote it to the jingle of the song.
It rhymed. I couldn't help laugh my ass off. As
Bumpity
I was
bump
reading
bump,
it.
bumpity bump bump.
Bumpity bump bump.
Look at Frosty go.
Yeah, that was
Or Who Wants Frosty's Blow?
amazing. How do you come up with that book? Like,
A lot of weed.
Drugs involved in making that book?
There's drugs involved in making everything that I do. I'm a firm believer in leveraging the drugs. Every year I try to do a Christmas book. Every year I try to do an Easter book. So my Easter book from last year is called Mom's Egg Hunt. Mom's a cunt. And then last year I did one called Christmas is Canceled, We're Broke, and it was too dark. Nobody wanted it. It was too dark, and I was like, the book was just like, oh, your parents are having a tough time. You're not getting any Christmas presents this year, but there is one, positive thing. We're going to the food bank, and then like they go to the food bank and it's like, oh, the only thing left at the food bank are the mystery cans with no labels, right? And then you get home and it's dog food, and it's just like, it just gets worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so sad.
And then people are just like, this is horrible. Like, we don't, and so I was like, okay, what am I going to do this time? Let's do something fucking cheery. So I'm like, oh, I'm looking at all the Christmas characters, Frosty the Snowman, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, all the fucking elves. Who do I want to, who is going to be, and I'm like, okay, Frosty the Snowman is kind of a party animal. We can easily turn cocaine into snow or snow into cocaine.
Yeah.
Let's take that,
Yeah.
Let's pick that low-hanging fruit. And nobody had used it. I got the copyright on Frosty the Blowman. Like, nobody had done it. And there was a song, but nobody copywrote it. So I'm like, I got the literary copyright for it, and I put out the book, and I got frostytheblowman.com. put a website up for it.
So do you buy a domain for every book?
I try to, yeah. I try to buy the copyright and or the domain. So I'll register the copyright, buy the domain, and then I'll have like AI build me. I'll just say to AI, here's the book, here's the sales description from Amazon, here's all the graphics. Build me a landing page that promotes this book and points people to Amazon and points them to my website to buy autographed copies. And it usually makes a really good, cool website for me. And I just put it up, and it's just like a landing promotional page for every book.
And
it's
it
kinda cool
redirects you
have.
to your personal e-commerce or to Amazon or
Both.
Yeah.
So I always give people the option of, you can get the autographed books from my website, but they're more money because I got to ship them to you. And you get them signed. And I have like a book of the month club, which has been pretty popular. And then, but even on my signed copies page, I'm like, you can get it on Amazon for cheaper. You don't have to buy a signed copy. And I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, buy it from me. I'm a small business, Amazon. I would prefer you bought it from Amazon if I'm not.
It's less work for you.
It's less work for me. And it's just like, that's what I love about Amazon is like, if I have a really good month and I sell like 100,000 books or whatever it is, my business, like nothing changes. My life doesn't change. I'm not busy packing orders. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy. And just the autograph books, fulfilling them is pretty busy, but I charge almost double. I charge more than double actually on the books to get them autographed.
Well, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, signing is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Signing.
Mailing.
Yeah.
So is that like a high enough volume that you have to do it yourself, or do you have like you got team helps you, or?
I do it myself. And and sometimes I get my kids to help me, like if it's busy, like I might get a little bit of help. But for the most part, it's never that much volume that I'm like, oh, I got to hire somebody. It's like maybe around Christmas time, I'm busy signing and packing books, but
Can't
I'm like,
park in your garage,
this
maybe.
this is a great problem to have,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Right.
So I have a whole library in my basement. I have like library bookshelves and, proper storage for all of them down there. And I got like, I have like a signing table. And so I'll go live on TikTok while I'm signing books. And, I turn it into I try and milk everything into content one way or another.
Is there a country that surprised you that bought your books?
No. It's pretty much as expected. It's like US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, sometimes Japan. Japan is surprising. But I sell books in Japan every month.
Yeah, they're dirty minded over there.
Yeah,
They don't hide anything.
They can bow as much as they want.
They still ain't anything. Yeah, Brad, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks
on
for
the
having me.
podcast.
That was
Thank
great.
you for educating us. And
Do you have anything you
speaking
want
for
to
us.
promote? Like
Yeah.
any shows coming up or?
No, I got a new Mike Hum book coming out. Mike Hum 2 is coming out next week.
Nice.
Mike Hum 1 did really well, so
So
milk it.
Amazon.com/
BradGosse.com.
BradGosse.com.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll all be in the description down below.
FrostyTheBlowman.com.
Bumpity bump bump, bumpity bump bump. Thank you for joining us. Have a good one, folks.